In our final week of the private practice end of year series, we are going to be talking about finances. Now, in my time of working as a VA for therapists in private practice, it has come to my attention that finances are definitely where therapists seem to be the least confident, or it's definitely not their favorite thing that they have to deal with in private practice. So let's talk about it. This is the third and final week. So in the first week, we did a review and reflection, and last week we did everything about systems. So go back and view those ones as well if you haven't seen them already. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kim. I help therapists in private practice get online, get confident with admin, and reduce tech overwhelm. So let's get stuck into finances. The first thing you want to think about as you end this year are your fees. So when you started private practice, how did you calculate your fees? Did you use a calculation to work out how much you needed and reverse engineer that so that you could work out how many clients you wanted to see and therefore how much you needed to charge them? Or did you look around at other therapists in your area or other therapists that specialize in what you do and just pick the same number? Now, if you're like most therapists that I have worked with or spoken to, it was probably the latter. And when you do that, what you're doing is making it so that you either have to work more than you want to work, or you're just not earning what it is that you need to earn. I've got a really quick video of how you can work out your ideal private practice fee. I'm going to link that. I think it's only a couple of minutes long, and it's really going to help you work out what your fee should be. Now, when you get that number at the end, it might look a lot different to what you're actually charging your clients now. But what you do need to know is that you can charge new clients whatever you want. So even if you're only charging your current clients £50, but what you've worked out is that you need £65 for each client, you can go ahead and update your website and say, for new clients, I'm going to be charging £65. And then what you can do is work out a plan of how you can get your current clients to that fee. So you could let them know that every 6 months you're going to put them up £5 until they get to that new current fee. Or you could just accept that as new clients come in and as your older clients graduate from therapy, eventually your clients will be on that £65. So that is up to you. But what I would say is the first thing I would love you to do over this Christmas period is work out actually what fee you require. And the video that I have linked is definitely going to help you do that. When it comes to increasing your fees, I would suggest giving your clients 30 to 60 days notice, and you can put your fees up whatever it is you want. I have clients that decide to put up £5 or £10 as a round figure, or clients that put them up by 10% each year. So that is completely up to you. That's the benefit of having a private practice. It really is your own rules. Obviously, having a conversation with your clients around fees can be a little bit tricky or nerve-wracking, but there are ways that you can reduce this. So the first thing I would say to do is, like I said, give your clients plenty of notice, 30 to 60 days, and that way your clients will be able to finish therapy before the fee goes up without that dead stop of the fees are going up sort of next week and they're unprepared for that. So I would say put that in writing, but in the email that you send, you could put something like, you are welcome to discuss this with me in your next session, or something like that. And then anybody who is unable to carry on therapy because of that fee increase or is worried about that, they can bring it up to you in session and you can discuss that with them and either agree not to put the fee up or agree to finish therapy when the fee rate is going up. The time of year that you put your fee up can also be really important. A lot of therapists I work with put their fees up starting in January. I personally always put my fees up in April. I think that it gives people a good enough time to get over sort of that Christmas holiday period, probably where they earn less money, especially because I also work, with therapists in private practice and people who take holiday during that time. So I know that they earn less during the month of December. So what I do is let them know when I send them my invoices for December, I let them know that the fees will be increasing from April. It also feels like a good time for me because most people are sole traders and the tax year begins in April. So it's kind of like a clean start and finish with the new fee. This could also be good for your clients too, as they typically spend more money in December and have less money in January. So if you also put your fees up after that, it's going to be really helpful for them and will also hopefully mean less clients will leave because of the fee increase. Okay, moving on from fees, let's talk about invoicing. Now, I also know that invoicing is a really big thing in private practice because it's my number one downloaded free resource. So I have a free resource called How to Invoice in Private Practice or something like that. And it's my number one downloaded resource. I know that therapists do want to learn more about invoicing and the ways that they can and should invoice in private practice. I also know that it's usually the first job that a therapist looks at outsourcing when they start working with a VA. I have started working for therapists just doing invoicing before I started doing more and more work, but it was always the finances, the invoicing, the bookkeeping that was outsourced first. My number one tip for invoicing really is to make sure you're actually sending an invoice. Not only does it look professional, but you are more likely to get paid on time when you send a physical invoice. And there are loads of ways to do this. You can do it manually. I have an invoicing template that you can buy, which will help you do this. You can also use a system like Stripe or PayPal to create your invoices. Or if you use an EHR like Power Diary, you can obviously create invoices with that. So there are lots of ways to do it, and they all have benefits and downsides, whether that's time or money related. If you want that free resource, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. So go ahead and grab that. What I would also suggest is making sure that you are checking your bank account for payments at least once a week to make sure that you are not missing any payments. Again, I have come across a lot of therapists who have come to me for whatever reason, and we've looked at their bookkeeping and their invoicing, and they think their clients are up to date with payments, or they think a couple are missed, but they're not sure, and then they feel embarrassed to kind of ask their clients, did you pay for this session? Or, things like that. So I would make sure that you are checking your bank account at least once a week and keeping some kind of log of all the sessions or the invoices that you've sent out and marking off which ones have been paid. It's going to make it much easier for you to request money when clients haven't paid, because you absolutely know that they have missed a payment. And it's also going to make sure that you are receiving all the money that you should be receiving, and you're not just, missing payments here and there, because missed payments here and there can add up to quite a lot of money. Next is bookkeeping. Now, this can also seem really scary if you don't do this on a regular basis, you don't know where to start. Maybe you're thinking about hiring an accountant. And just to reassure you, if you are a sole trader, you really don't need an accountant. You absolutely can do the bookkeeping yourself. Now, I do have a sole trader bookkeeping template, and it's my most popular template that I sell. I definitely sell at least one of these a week. But what I would really suggest is making sure that you are doing your bookkeeping monthly. It's going to help make sure that you're not missing anything. Maybe you signed up to a subscription and you were meant to cancel it, but you forgot. If you don't do that for a whole year, if you don't check your bookkeeping for a whole year, you're going to miss that payment, and that payment's going to come out every single month, and you're never going to catch it until you end up doing your self-assessment and you've wasted all that money on a subscription that you didn't want. So you really want to make sure you're tracking your revenue and your expenses each month. And I have blogs and videos all about bookkeeping. I have a spreadsheet that you can get, or you can even watch the video and create it yourself. I have a video on my YouTube channel, which I'll also link, and it goes through step by step how you can do your bookkeeping in private practice. So please go and check that video out between Christmas and New Year if you haven't done your bookkeeping yet, especially as the deadline for the self-assessment is the 31st of January. So you really don't have long to get all of your sort of finances in order before you have to report them to HMRC. I personally love the finances. I always love numbers though, and I've always loved spreadsheets, so it kind of comes naturally to me to make sure everything's adding up and everything, gets to the penny of what it should do. But if this is not your forte, I would really suggest hiring this stuff out. And you will be able to find a virtual assistant or somebody like that who you'll just be able to give your invoicing away to or give your bookkeeping away to. And it's really going to help you feel confident, and actually it'll probably end up saving you definitely time, but also money if you're getting quite a lot of missed payments. So that's definitely something to think about if this really isn't your area of confidence. As I just said a minute ago, just remember that your self-assessment will be due on the 31st of January 2024 for the 22-23 year. So use this time to do your expenses and your bookkeeping if you haven't done it already, because you definitely don't want to get fined right at the beginning of the year. Okay, so that's all I have on finances in private practice. I am wishing you the happiest Christmas if you celebrate it, but just happy holidays. I hope you have an amazing new year, and wishing you a very happy and healthy 2024. Until next time, thanks so much for watching.